you had mentioned a few times, you referred to my old self.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, like, can you tell us who was that old self?
Yeah. Basically, I'm a believer that we all grew up in these environments, and these environments shape us and shape our beliefs because these environments create experiences for us. So my environment was one of, sports culture, religious culture, and a very black and white culture in my family of you are either an A+ student or you're an F. And so for me, that was kind of what kind of shaped me growing up. I wanted to please people. I wanted to please my parents, please my church leaders, please my coaches. And I was so afraid of making mistakes because if I made a mistake, there was a punishment.
Yeah.
And it sucks being punished, especially as a kid with no outlet. I couldn't go talk to my parents or my leaders or my friends about my mistakes because I felt so ashamed. And like I
Yeah.
said, that shame owned me. And so I went through life kind of walking on eggshells, like trying to please people, never really addressing the core issues of inauthenticity and my weaknesses, because I feel like if I just had an outlet, someone to talk to, I would have probably been able to get through these things and manage them versus hiding them from the world. And so for me, that was the old me. I've always come from, I've always felt like I've been pretty empathetic. I've always cared about other people and wanting to, make people happy and never hurt them. So my intention was never like to hurt people or to do anything bad to people. But because of these issues of wanting to be perfect all the time, it caused me to hide my weaknesses. That was how I, survived. It was a survival mechanism. I just would hide the weaknesses and pretend they didn't exist. And I bet
Yeah.
you there's a lot of men
Yeah.
out there that can relate to that.
And women.
Women
Yeah.
too, because that's kind of what we do to survive in this world.
Yeah.
We don't want to be found out. We don't want to be punished and admit that we have these weaknesses. So we just go about pretending like they don't exist. And that's where those things eventually own us and break us down.